So hey guys, today's a new video, and this is essentially the second video that I promised from the last video. For those of you who have noticed, it hasn't even been a minute since I recorded the other video. So the reason I'm separating these two is because I've noticed that a lot of the time when I did daily Q&A, most people didn't stick around to actually get to the daily Q&A, or just got tired of how long the video was. I've looked at the analytics, and while quite a few of you do bother to go through the entire video and pick up whatever information that you need to or that you may be interested in, quite a few of you just kind of spaz out through the video trying to search for it, and I get the feeling more often than not you don't. So this is just some fairly basic information that you should be able to understand, especially if you're a new player. Now, one of the biggest questions that I've noticed that has been asked quite recently is, how do I go first in a battle against PvP? That's actually quite simple. So this right here is combat. Most of the time we call it CP because combat points. It's easier than saying combat points when you can just say CP. Now CP is determined by whatever stats you have on your cards. Some cards are obviously more powerful than other cards. For example, my gold Zetsu has 10 million CP, whereas a purple card Zetsu would have at best 3 million CP, and that's being very, very, very generous. Um, Also, for example, Diamond Reborn Obito is a lot more powerful than Diamond Obito. For example, the difference in strength is about 2 million for Diamond Obito and about 10 million for Diamond Obito. Diamond Reborn Obito. So Reborn cards are very different right now. Those are things that are currently rolling out. Um, Combination cards, stuff like that. Just basically, the more powerful cards you have, the higher CP you get. Now, the person with the higher CPs goes first. For example, right now I'm currently top in my server. I'm the strongest person when it comes to CP in my server. Although keep in mind, when it comes to PvP, the highest CP does not guarantee a win. The highest CP usually guarantees that you're going to go first. That is a given. That you're going to win, that is something very different that can be determined by stats such as hit and dodge, which seem to be the most important stats that go around right now. For example, right now I'm going to go against Nonstop. He is currently around second or third in the entire server. As you can see, I go first. And yeah, so the reason I went first, and that's mostly because that's why I'm gonna win, because I went first, I got to essentially seal his entire team and make it so he can't attack me back. Um, that's essentially the whole reason you want to go first. But if you look at this here, only two, possibly three of my cards are able to hit this particular card over here. That's because his card here, the Mizukage combination card, has an insane amount of dodge. And while that normally wouldn't be a big problem for somebody like me, a normal player would have an extremely hard time hitting this card because of the fact that it has so much dodge, and then it has a skill which makes it immune to any sort of debuffs such as bleeds. Um, but it's on a whole another thing. So yeah, that's what CP does, and that's how you get to go first. There's a lot more to it, and I'll probably be covering it in another video in more detail now that I realize that videos such as these are needed. But moving on to other things. Now, I see that a lot of people are asking, how do you go first and release your skill at in the first turn? Now, for those of you who don't know, each card has a skill called the unique skill. Now, the unique skill is generally depends on what card it is. For example, the Fight for Love combination card has the Gentle Fist, Sparring Twin, Lion Fist as the unique skill. Other cards will have you can get different unique skills, but that depends usually on training them or buying the skills from getting skins, either with real life money or with just gold that you saved up. Now, I was saying, a lot of people are wondering, how do you get to use that on your very first turn? That is because of the Curse Seal of Wrath level 5. Now, what the Curse Seal of Wrath level 5 does is exactly what I just said. It lets you go first lets you release your unique skill on the first turn. Now, for those of you who don't have a collection such as this one right over here, um, for those of you who don't have the 3 Legendary Ninjas, which is a collection that you can get by making the Orochimaru, Tsunade, and Jiraiya Diamond. For those of you who don't have that, you need to have a Curse Seal of Wrath level 5 by force just to be able to release your unique skill on the first turn. Now, how do you get this Curse Seal of Wrath? You just click on Curse Seal. If you're new to the game, and you're under, I believe, level 20, you're not going to be able to use curse seals. You can still open up the collection, but that's very unlikely. Once you unlock curse seals, you're gonna be able to go over here, click on curse seals, click on one click hunt, and you're gonna be able to use silver to go ahead and search or hunt for curse seals. Now, Susano, Tsukiyomi, and Amaterasu usually get you either blue or green, which are the lowest curse seals of the entire bunch. Inazami has a chance to get you a purple card, and Ina, Izanagi, sorry, In Izanagi is the one that gets you the curse seals of Wrath and curse seal of the Moon, curse seal of the Sun. Um, the curse seal of Wrath, curse seal of the Moon, and all of those cards, all of those seals are the highest level of this particular seal. But yeah, the way that you upgrade them, you go to equip, you click on upgrade, and you use your green, because those are the most abundant ones, and that's what you do to upgrade them. You use the blue and the green. You can use the purple or even another curse seal of Wrath, but I wouldn't recommend it because they're very rare, and usually you're gonna have to spend about possibly 10 million, 12 million to get a curse seal of Wrath. Because it's based on luck, you can't get it just right off the bat. Okay, so that's two topics covered. Another thing that I see a lot of people asking is the Ninja Soul. What is it? How do you use it? And what do you do with it? So if you go to your inventory, you can look up packages, and you can do the open up what is essentially called a Ninja Spirit pack. I'm gonna go ahead and open 5 right now. I have 75, but that's besides the point. So you go to Ninja Soul, you're gonna be able to unlock that, I believe, at level 70. It could be level 85, and by that I mean your account level, not your actual level for your cards. So you go to Decompose, and then you go select the Ninja Spirit. You click on Decompose, and this is gonna give you a soul. Now, Ninja Spirits in general give you very high or powerful Ninja Souls, simply because they're higher tier, and that's what they were meant for. But say you decompose a Ninja Dog Park, that's gonna give you more often than not. Excuse me, that's gonna give you more often than not a Shattered Soul or Cracked Soul. Sorry, a Cracked Soul is the weakest you can get. Um, Now whereas a purple card will usually give you like a shining or glittery. Um, the bright or just the normal soul is they're okay, but they're not the best. And the way that you use them is just by clicking on this, click on it, and then you want to use this Ninja Soul to refresh new attributes. You click on yes, and then you get some more attributes essentially. That's really about it. Not much else to tell about that. It can be useful to give your card another 50k CP if you manage to fill it out all of them with fairly powerful souls. But apart from that, there is not much else to it. Let's see. Yeah, see, little more CP, a little bit more stats. That's really about it for this video. Sorry if it sounds like I'm running out of breath or stuttering, but I just forget sometimes that how much I have to speak in videos like this. So I'm fairly out of shape when it comes to that. So sorry for that. Hopefully I got everything that was supposed to be gotten across correctly. I will be making a more in-depth video on combat and essentially what you can do to raise your combat. I'm gonna be covering things like reinforcement, things like collection, things like enhancing items, all that sort of stuff, because it all connects to combat. Um, if you have a particular video you want to see for yourself, not including showcases, because I've done a lot of showcase for a lot of different cards, if it's enough of a need, I'll do another showcase for one of them for a certain card. But keep in mind that I have done quite a few. I've covered most of the big cards essentially. But like I said, if you have something that you want to ask, and you feel like it needs to be covered, just go ahead and comment it. I'm not gonna promise you an instant next day video, but I will try to cover it eventually. So that's about it for this video. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you don't. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video. Bye.